How the hell are y'all? What's good, everybody? It's us again. We're here back with another Mixcast. That's right, that's my little Super Sentai thing going on for a minute. We're going to start off with the ugly, then we're going to start off with the bad, then we're going to end on a good note. But first, how's everybody doing? Since we're in July now, did everybody armor up, getting ready for whatever bullshit that's about to come at us?
I'm maybe.
I mean, 4th of July started like 2 weeks
4th of July
ago,
started
dude.
in June 6th, okay, for us.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're just gonna kick it off with the ugly news. So far, there's a lot of nasty people in the gaming industry right now.
Oh boy, is
We're
there?
not surprised, apparently, but
Yeah,
it's
I'm not surprised
that
at all.
I'm not surprised. I'm more disappointed. Like, real talk, we have this community for a reason. As gamers, we had this outlet for to escape all the bullshit from the normalcy of the mundane world. Gaming,
Right.
comic books, anime, all that. But yet, we have these weird fucktards out there that want to mess with the equilibrium of all that's fun. They want to use their weird status, be you a high-level D&D lord wizard that telling somebody to bow down to you, and like, you need to get back to reality at some point, dude. Whatever your status is does not give you the right to put anybody below you. And in this case, we have a lot of sexual assault allegations that have happened. And yes, I'm going to say allegations because nothing has been proven yet, but sadly, I have read so many testimonies since the beginning of July 1st, and it's like we come into the month with already bullshit. So, reading all these cases that's been happening, and I'm just like, these bullshit apologies that you're only doing because you got caught is really making me mad right now. Like, what the hell were you thinking? Oh my god. But let me get your thoughts on it, because I did my rant and I'm like trying to get my blood pressure up.
Well, for me, on one hand, like, you know, you and I were talking about this before about how, like, it really sucks that that is just part of the life cycle, I guess you could say, of being, like, specifically, like, women in gaming, right? Like, that has been just one giant, I don't know, lasagna of a mess. But for, like, you know, I think we kind of live in, like, a really interesting time where, like, now we've kind of learned about that. So, like, women are able to create tools for themselves to be able to, you know, avoid harassment. But, like, that's not to say that, like, how do you deal with that in real life? And then, like, kids are still freaking kids. Like, I think for me, like, luckily, I have enough history under my belt to be able to know how to deal with this. Like, for God frickin' sakes, on the 360, my gamer tag was Mr. Gumiku, so that people did not know who I was. Just so I could play Halo, like, when I could play Halo at peace. You know, I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like, one, parents, teach your kids how to defend themselves. Like, I get that you want to shelter them, and it kind of sucks too, because it's kind of like the anomaly of, like, being like a nerd, right? Like, you're kind of sheltered, you do, like, your own, like, introverted shit. But, like, seriously though, you should not, regardless of how, like, introverted you are, you should not be exempt from, like, learning about the bad stuff of the world. Just because, like, how do you know how to defend yourself if you don't know what to defend yourself from, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a hard case, especially when you have somebody that you're supposed to trust. So yeah, you could defend yourself. We always was taught as kids to not talk to strangers or not go with anybody stranger, but so far these cases have been with people that you trust, and I'm like, damn.
Well, that's usually the type of people that target. Those are the usual suspects. The people that know these people. They get to know them really well. They get to know their ins and outs, and that's how they slide on in and do all their fucked up shit.
But we also, like, I feel like they also target on weak people.
Oh, absolutely.
So all all you beautiful women out there, like, oh man, like, don't be weak. Learn to know when you're uncomfortable and your boundaries. If you can't define what your boundaries are, then I think you should reconsider and going to a place with people that, you know, you kind of know, but like, I mean, even if with people you do know, right? Like, that is so important. And like, I think it's so ingrained and like, sorry, my inner feminist is gonna come out here, but like, it's so ingrained in our culture as women, right? I think now we kind of live in this really cool like time where like there's all these women who are standing up, but that doesn't mean that the fight is over. I mean, for freaking sake, the ERA was only like, I think it was only ratified in only 36 states. Like, that's not even, like, that just shows like how ingrained, and like that all started in the 70s. So that just goes to show like how ingrained it is into our history, you know? So like, don't let history repeat itself. Like, stand your ground. If you see someone who's taking your hand and says, "Come with me," don't be afraid to ask where. Where are you taking me? Ask those important questions. It stresses me out.
So far, there's been
very
a lot
stressing.
because so far right now, there's been a change in the social norm, which I'm actually liking, especially how, you know, men don't have to be the old school style of what men were depicted as. We can cry, we can feel emotions, but also what I want a lot of people to understand is that don't be afraid to speak up about something that's going on with you. Because I get it, there's a lot of people that will try to blame the victim. And that's still going on to this day, but not with everybody. So you just gotta have to find somebody you can trust to tell somebody as quickly as you can. I know it's hard, and it's a scary situation to go through because it's a mental game that a lot of these people go through. They either get scared of defaming somebody else, defaming themselves, being seen as a slut, whore, or whatever. And this goes for the young men too, because as we just found out, the president of Evo, or one of the founders of Evo, was actually molesting young boys from 91 and on.
Kid toucher.
In the gaming world, what the hell? And now Evo is canceled. Capcom pulling their games, Mortal Kombat people pulling their games, and now Evo is just completely canceled now. Until they investigate it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Good.
I don't care. Because this is a lot of stuff that's going on.
I'm hoping that something actually comes out.
Yeah. Even some of these FGC players out there were taking advantage of other girls. And I'm like, you play fucking video games. And I'm not making an excuse for superstars of any kind. No matter what your status is, you don't have the right to put somebody in that situation.
No.
Real talk.
No. And man, do I have a resume full of times that people have. Dude, I started playing. Okay, granted,
drop the tea.
This is back when.
Drop all the tea.
Oh yeah, granted that this like started in a time, right, where like the internet was like the Wild West, right? But like I was freaking 12, dude, and like some of the things that people would tell me, like, and the crazy part is like I feel like having this self-awareness, like, this is rare, okay, and like I feel like I also had a really great opportunity to be able to face those things, you know, like I went to therapy and things like that, so I'm no longer afraid to say my truth, and like it really sucks. Like that's the hard part, right? It's like, whose relationships do I want to break off? Like you cannot be scared. You have to worry about your own health and your own body and like value that. Like, dude, like if you're okay, like seriously, if you're in some shit, like I think at this point just freaking message me, man. Like let me help you. Like this is really messed up. But like I also think like because of the rise of the topic, we are going to see a rise of the cases because now people are feeling brave to speak up. So yeah, do it. Speak up. Don't let anyone tell your truth for you, because that will never end in down a good place.
Obi, you got any words?
I mean, just like how she said, the numbers are going to come up, and it's a good thing. And the problem that I'm seeing right now with that is how the cancel culture has been. and someone's gonna try to mix that up, and they're gonna be like, oh, so you're gonna believe everybody that says this and that, and then they're gonna try to downplay it. That's what I hope doesn't happen. Yeah. But it always fucking happens.
But that's the thing. I think, and you know what? I think cancel culture is good. I mean, it sucks for creators, but if, as a creator, first of all, you have to hold yourself accountable for your own actions. If you look like you're doing shady shit, then stop doing it. Like, if you have to sit there and be like, I wonder if this is shady. It's probably shady. Don't freaking do it. Yep. Like, I think that's,
No, go ahead, continue.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I mean,
I just feel that cancel culture can get out of hand at times because right now they're trying to attack Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic Thunder.
Even though, like, everyone and their mother said, like, yeah, dude, go ahead.
It's not even that.
The thing, it's the purpose of the content.
Yeah, because it was really to address how bad blackface was in that movie.
Yeah.
He had another black actor, kept on bringing it up throughout the whole scenes. So it was a purpose for it. So you're going out of hand with this cancel culture shit.
But like, with his role, there was satire. That was the whole point of it. Yeah. And if people, like,
it was
like Jenna Marbles, for example, right?
Like, Tropic Thunder was a stereotype for a lot of things that happen in Hollywood. The in the closet actor, what's his name? Al Pacino. He was in the closet, but was still too scared to say that he was gay. So he was over-sexualized and stuff. Then you had the doped up actor Jack Black played, who was into heroin and stuff like that. So everybody was playing a part for Hollywood. And then you had the asshole doing all sorts of roles, and then he tried to be the extreme actor by playing blackface, which of course is not okay.
What was the line again? I'm just a dude playing
another dude as a dude.
Yeah.
And then you saw him go through
can make people go like, you know what? Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't go after fucking Tony Stark here.
But I mean, you saw him have that nervous breakdown at the end of the role. We started pulling off the makeup, and he's like, I don't know who I am. And he was like, okay, fuck it. Everybody's sick. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's the purpose behind it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I know people are going to wring my neck for this, but Jenna Marbles, like, I guess she had, like, her freaking apology video, but, like, I remember I was watching her apology video about, like, how she did that music video about, like, freaking Chinese people. Okay, like, one, she apologized because she got caught and got called out for it. So, and she, like, she even said it in her lyrics. Like, this may be racist, but, like, if you have to, like, say something like that, then don't freaking do it.
Yo,
like,
see, I agree with you 110% with that. With the whole, like, if you have to really think about what you're doing is wrong, then it's wrong. But, and I'm not defending her at all. I'm not defending her at all. My issue with moments like those is that, okay, if you notice, like, well, let's take her for example. That very moment when she made that joke in that music video, what's his name? Delgado? He's right there.
Delgado.
Yeah, he's right there, and definitely probably gave her the go-ahead on this bit.
Yeah. Just like Leonardo DiCaprio and Samuel Jackson in Django. When he didn't want to say the N-word. When he didn't want to say the N-word. And Samuel Jackson just sat there with him like...
But that's the other thing about, like, going back to Robert Downey Jr. There's been a lot of people in the business, black folk in the business, that have all said, oh yeah, no, we're okay with it. Because it's him.
Jimmy
and
Fallon,
we understand what's happening. But, yeah, so, about the Jimmy Fallon one. I don't want to touch someone with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, but the thing is that Jamie Foxx and them were defending him for it. He was a skit on SNL. They understood it. Because guess what? Eddie Murphy did it back in the 80s when he went whiteface.
Whiteface. But again, that was another...
That was a bit.
That was a jab and everything to how the world does blackface, but he did it the other way around.
He did it the opposite way.
But just because someone condones it doesn't mean, like, it's not racist.
No, absolutely.
No, that's not the thing. They're not saying it's not racist.
I'm not saying it's not.
I'm
not saying it's not, but, like, these are some of the people that like I look at their performances and then it's like, look who's around them. Yeah. If these people really had an issue with it, they would have said something to that person, be like, you know what, don't do it. And I'm sure, knowing how Robert Downey Jr. has come up in the world, considering like from his early start to like where he's at right now, that dude learned so much.
He probably had a whole
how to change. Because at first he was like the drunk. He was the belligerent asshole.
He was literally the comic book version of Tony Stark.
He really was
he was
the real Tony Stark.
That's how the comic book version of Tony Stark really was. He was an alcoholic who had issues.
And when they gave him the role, I was like, there was no other person. There really is no other person to beat Tony Stark.
The funny part is they didn't even keep that in the movie.
It was living his life.
But they didn't keep it in the movie, though. That was the funny part.
You really couldn't pick a better person. And that's the other thing about Marvel. Now, I'm going to put this in there real quick. That's the one thing I like about Marvel's casting. They really go after the person that looks the part, probably has been acting the part. I mean, granted, Marvel didn't look out for fucking Ryan Reynolds, but Ryan Reynolds was never supposed to be anything else but
He demanded that part.
He was not supposed to be anything else but Deadpool as far as comic book movies go.
Well, come to find out, it was like the creator actually fashioned Deadpool over Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So get back to the topic. Real talk, I'm hoping that a lot of people in general, not just ladies, I want people to really share their truth. And I'm just hoping that a lot of you are telling the truth, because there are backlashes. We don't need another Juicy Smollett. Okay?
Yeah.
We don't need another Juicy.
The liars make it worse, because
it makes it a lot worse, because there's a lot of people that actually been in shit.
Exactly.
And they need you to be honest. More. They suffer so much more, and we already got a lot of assholes already trying to dismiss anybody's claim at this point, because they don't want their heroes to get in trouble. Fuck your hero, okay? Your hero.
Yeah, hero worship isn't healthy anyways.
You okay?
Like, you can respect people.
R. Kelly.
Oh.
What?
Ooh, I'm sorry. Where's my tea?
Honestly, after he got accused the first time, and you start listening back to his songs, you just go, He honestly kind of outed himself for years.
He outed himself in every single one of them.
I'm going to keep listening to his music. It's so good. It brings back so many good memories.
I had to go back for a minute. Oh, God.
And how the Boondocks handled that whole situation.
You know what the situation is like?
Cringe.
The funny part is, I'm going to say it, and it's kind of like cliche, but The Simpsons did this already. It was that episode with Marge banning not Ren and Stimpy. What the fuck was the cat and the mouse in that one? In the show on Simpsons?
Oh, it's kind of like the Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. So she
sort of
actually
thing, yeah.
banned that because
scratchy, yo, itchy and scratchy.
Itchy and scratchy.
Yeah.
So she got them banned because her daughter, the baby, kept on hurting Homer. But then somebody brought it up later because she got all these activists, the cancel culture back in the 90s, because the David was coming to Springfield. And she was like, that's a piece of art. I don't have no problem with that. But the penis is out. And she was like, well, I don't have a problem with that. And the guy was like, wait. So you don't have a problem with that, but you have a problem with this cartoon right now. That's weird. Hold on. Sorry about that, folks. We're back. Had to do some things and stuff and all that jazz. So we finish off the conversation. Yeah, shit's fucked up in the gaming world and everywhere now. Pretty much we got a lot of nasty people in all sorts of fronts right now. And it's sad. It's very sad. But any last thoughts on the subject? Anybody?
Everything out there has a bad side. That's what it is. There's always going to be some asshole, and no matter how much we try to have a good time in a good community, there's always going to be a group of assholes that ruin everything. That's my last thought. on the whole thing.
All right.
Goldfish.
And for me, learn your boundaries. I mean, this isn't just for men or just for women, but this also goes for men as well. You know, like learn, like, because like that could happen too, right? Sexual harassment can happen to both genders. Like, just learn to say no, learn to better yourself, and if you feel like you're not confident enough to like hold your own, it's okay to like step back and be like, I'm not comfortable with this. Like, I get for like content creators too, they could be like, oh yeah, but this is a good networking opportunity. But no, your safety isn't worth all that. So
that's true.
That's all I gotta say.
So pretty much try as your best not to put yourself in a bad situation. Stick with your trusted friends. And as I learned in Heavyweights movie, buddy up for safety.